Argylle, a 2024 action comedy that you can now stream on Prime Video? No, Apple TV.
Apple
Wait,
TV.
Apple TV.
Apple, yeah.
A movie by Matthew K. Vaughn. If you guys don't know, Matthew K. Vaughn is the guy behind Kingsman and Kick-Ass. Those are his big claim to fame. Those two right there. Kingsman and Kick-Ass. This movie stars Bryce Dallas Howard, Dua Lipa, Henry Cavill, Sam Rockwell, John Cena, Ariana DeBose, uh, Bryan Cranston. That's
Sam Jackson.
Sam
Catherine
Jackson. Yes,
O'Hara.
that's
That's
right.
right,
Catherine
Catherine
O'Hara.
O'Hara.
Sophia Botelli, who we talked about because she is the star of Rebel Moon. Um,
That's right. Yep. Yep.
She's
Rob
the secret
Delaney,
keeper.
who was actually in Deadpool too. Rob Delaney. He was the one non-superhero that applied for the team.
Oh yeah.
So there you go. So those are all the names. You'll recognize these guys when you see them. You'll recognize all these actors when you see them in the movie. It's about a novelist that writes kind of like spy thrillers. But everything she writes is fact. Like, and people are like, oh, how is she writing things that nobody knows? Like, but it's all happened or might happen. And now the bad guys are trying to get to her first so they can get what she's writing for her new book to find out what happens next so they can, undercut, whatever it is, the plan. So we'll start with Carlos. Carlos, Argylle, what was your take and did you enjoy it?
I really wanted to like this movie because it had Sam Rockwell in it, and he's entertaining. I find him very entertaining. And it started out well. I thought it was entertaining. It was humorous. Like I said, Sam Rockwell. I'm like, all right, let's keep going. But then it took a turn for the worse. Not really quick, but it took a turn for the worse. Um, I don't want to spoil it, the part that made me turn until you guys start talking about it. But yeah, not a good movie. Not a good movie. I was really wanting to like this because Henry Cavill's in it, John Cena, that smoke show, Dua Lipa is in it. I really wanted to like it, but no, I'd give it man. It was starting out as a good three until the part that turned me, and it became a quick two, maybe one and a half.
Was it right in the middle with the big quote reveal?
No, I thought that was dumb, but I just didn't buy her as
Yeah.
being the number
Yeah.
one,
Yeah.
whatever. No, that's not wasn't the reveal. That wasn't it.
Okay. Well, you have to tell us after we say what we gotta say.
Yeah.
Laura, what's your take on Argyle?
I mean, pretty similar to Carlos. I did. I wanted to like this movie. It's one of those things I was like, I guess I'm just not the target demographic of my first thoughts as I was watching it, I was like, Henry Cavill looks fucking insane. Like with the guile hairstyle, like the straight up and like his padded jacket. I'm like, this is so weird. And I had not seen a trailer, so I did not know what I was watching exactly. So in the very beginning, I was like, is this a fucking Austin Powers remake? Like a kind of Austin Powers. And then I was like, oh, okay, she's a writer. These are her characters. Um, and then I was pretty bored until Sam Rockwell appeared on screen. And God, I fucking love him. He is so interesting. He is so dynamic. And of course he dances, which I always love. And I was just watching, I was like, man, back in his day, I'd go to bed with Sam Rockwell over Henry Cavill any day. Like he's just so charming, so charismatic. And really the whole thing just made me want to watch The Long Kiss Goodnight. Do you guys remember that movie?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's Samuel Jackson
Sam
is
Jackson.
also
Yep.
in it and Gina Davis.
Yep.
Um and
Oh
it
yeah.
really reminded me of that and I was like, man, I haven't seen that movie in 20 years. I was like, I need to go back and watch Long Kiss Goodnight. But yeah, it just lost me somewhere in there. It stopped being funny and just started being silly. And I couldn't tell you exactly at what point that was, but some point in there it just happened. But points that I'll give it is Sam Rockwell, just like on general in the whole. Uh I'll give him points. And then I also liked how Dallas Bryce Howard, she's looking a little thick nowadays, and I'm into it. You know, you get somebody who looks normal, like a size 6 in real life is like a size 12 on camera. And I thought she looks great. I thought everybody in the movie looked great. So they looked, you know, semi-normal and reasonable, and I dig that. So 2.5, I
Okay, we got a two
guess.
and a half. You guess. Okay, there you go. This movie just was boring. That's I just found it boring. That's about 30 minutes in. I was like, this is so boring. Like and I don't know. It wasn't nothing made me like go, man, I hope it gets better. I was like, I just hope this ends. Can it end? I hope this is ends soon? Because I thought the action was like you kind of said, it was kind of over the top, like really
It was
goofy.
silly. Yeah, it was
Um,
silly.
I thought Bryce Dallas Howard, she was fine and everything in it, but as stated, she would never be a top spy, like ever. Like ever. Like doesn't matter. Even when the twist happens and it all clicks, I still don't believe it one bit. Um, I don't know what it is. I was just like, okay, this has to get better. Here's the thing though, I had no expectations as being good. I guess that's the thing. So I was just like, it was kind of flat. Just the whole thing was just flat. Like, because the premise, I thought I've seen this premise before. Because when you saw the preview, the premise was what was that movie with Cameron Diaz and Tom Cruise? It was
Oh,
called
I know
Night
which
and
one you're
Day.
talking
There
about.
you go,
Night
Yeah.
and
Night and Day.
day. Yeah.
Which
Never seen it, which
well
is
the
a shame
premise
because that's him at like its hottest. I need to watch that.
and the premise is what you thought Argylle was, where some basically random woman gets caught up in a spy espionage, and all of a sudden she has to tag along because now she's part of it and she doesn't want to be part of it. And then we also saw this on Bird on Wire with Mel Gibson and oh, I can't remember her name. Who's married to Kurt Russell, or not married, but
Goldie Hawn.
Goldie Hawn. I mean, we've seen this movie like 5 times, where the random damsel all of a sudden gets caught up in some spy action, where she's like, "I don't want to be part of this." Well, you're part of it now. Let's go. Oh, just like matter of fact, the latest Tom Cruise movie, Mission Impossible, where what's her name is part
Oh
of.
yeah.
She's part of it too, but she doesn't want no part of it. But you know what? You're involved now, and I've
Or
seen it.
like the dude version with Ghosted, right? Where Chris
Yes, there you
Oh
go.
Evans.
yeah.
That's the
Yeah.
Yeah.
dude version,
Chris
right?
Evans.
Yes. And we don't want to talk about that one. And that's what I thought it was until the twist happens in this movie, and you're like, oh, it was that for the first half, and then the second half, you're like, oh, this is even dumber now. It got even dumber. Like it was already dumb. It's got even dumber. But they had to explain, which I thought was actually a good explanation of how she could write these books. Because I was outside of that, it was like what magic? Like you know what I mean?
I was literally like through halfway through the movie, I was like, is she just fucking nuts? Has she had like a full-on psychotic break?
Yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. And but it just nothing. I mean, the end of the movie too, I was like, no, go get the don't not tie this into something else. Go away. Like go just go away. Like we don't need more of this.
Audrey
The ice
Argylle.
skating was just this is just fucking
Oh, you mean
ridiculous.
the
Like
roller
I know
skate?
it's a the no
Was
the
ice
ice
skating.
skating on the
Oh,
black tar
yeah.
Teflon shit. And like I know it's supposed to be a comedy, and so I know it's supposed to be ridiculous, but
Oh, let me tell
it
you,
was
when
just
the whole with the colorful smoke, and I was like, this is
So
so dumb.
that's where it lost me.
This
it
is
was
Was the
very I felt
stupid
like
dance.
Guardians kind
very
of
Yeah.
Guardians
esque.
like, but
It
like,
came out with the smoke and the dancing, and they're killing
yeah.
everybody with the dancing,
And
and then
yeah, yeah.
the ice skating thing was so stupid. I did not buy, excuse me, Laura, you're gonna hate me for this chunky chick skating the way she did. It was so stupid. And then when she went down on her knees for like her final move, she gets up, not a splash of oil on her. This room is
I
covered
know.
in oil, not
And
a
her
splash of oil
dress.
on her, not a thing. And then they dressed up like she dressed up like the Dua Lipa character. He dressed up as the Henry Cavill character when they
Yep,
went to go
yep,
meet
yep.
the secret keeper, that chick from
Rebel Moon.
Kingsman.
Yep.
Yeah, Rebel
Yeah.
Moon. Apparently, she owes Matt Vaughn a favor or something, or he owes her, so he put her in the movie. That's where it lost me, was that stupid shit right there. It was so dumb. And then that sleeper cell thing, whatever that was, when she started playing the music box, and then when she turned, I'm like,
Yeah, that was really fucking stupid. I was like,
ah,
you've already done the brainwash trick. Are you
Yep.
really gonna do this
yeah.
again? Yeah.
Yeah.
And
No.
then
Oh, and then
apparently
holy
Matt
crap. Keep going.
Vaughn has never heard of the Exxon Valdez because they just blew up a fucking oil tanker and rode off on their boat. Where's all this oil gonna go? It's
Oh.
clearly gonna go into the ocean.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah, I didn't even think about
Clearly into
that.
the ocean. That's what I
The,
was thinking when it blew up. I'm like, because when she was narrating and she said something like, "Oh, they
He
timed it
timed it
perfectly."
perfectly.
But
Yes.
the next sentence didn't say what I thought it was gonna say. I thought it was gonna say timed it perfectly, so all the oil was burned up or destroyed or something. But no, timed it perfectly, so now there's no more adventures, there's no more nothing, and da da da. Now he's finally free. I'm like, oh, those poor animals. Somebody's gonna have to clean this shit up. But no, that's where it lost me. Is the stupid ice skating shit and this dancing shit. I'm like, no, this chunky chick
well, the
was
crazy
never
part
a
is,
spy.
hey,
She
when
was
the
never
twist,
the top agent
yeah, yeah,
in
when the twist
shit.
happens in the movie,
Shit.
spoiler alert, the twist is that she's a spy all along and she's just writing down her memories. That's what it is.
That didn't make any
Um,
sense to me either because she's writing her memory, so they're looking for her to see what happens next.
I thought that was
She
dumb
doesn't know
too.
what happens next because she
Yeah,
had amnesia, so she's just writing what she already knew.
that's right. She can only write to a certain point.
Yeah, exactly. And then it has to stop, and then she has to start making shit up herself.
Well, that's why I thought the part where they were dressed like Cavill and Dua Lipa and kind of redoing that whole scene, I'm like, that doesn't make sense. How are they
No,
playing this scene out that's you wrote in the book? This is what? This is Matthew K. Vaughn. No, that's all. Just no, like a dog, like you just slap with the
stop
newspaper.
saying his
No,
middle
stop it.
initial. He doesn't deserve it.
It's just
And then
oh
and then at the end they tease it like there's gonna be a sequel,
A
and I'm like,
tie into the
please
Kingsman.
don't.
well,
Yeah,
it's just it.
What
The
was the
sequel
Kingsman
is
tie-in? What's that?
the
you know
bar was called the
that the bar was
Kingsman. It
called
had
the
the logo on
Kingsman,
the outside
Oh,
and
I didn't
everything.
even
and it was the
notice.
logo of the Kingsman. Yeah, yeah,
Didn't even
and
notice.
Yeah, and then
I'm
when he
not a
goes
big
and
fan of the Kingsman movies,
well,
so
so that was supposed to be like
Henry Cavill's
no,
character,
yeah, but the beginning the movie coming soon is the movie based
book
on the book
one of Argyle.
of
Yeah,
Argylle, and that's what you saw in the Kingsman scene was that was playing out Henry Cavill and the Kingsman. Like I'm like, no, please stop tying the shit to your other fucking movies. Like just
Wasn't him Aubrey or Audrey Argyle?
yeah,
That's
yeah,
the
yeah.
character's
Aubrey,
name.
Aubrey. In the end, when Henry Cavill was at the stupid book signing or whatever, question, I was like,
Oh
oh
yeah,
my
you have
goodness,
questions
that's
for
what I'm
me.
talking about. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
That's
yeah.
the
You have questions
tease
for
to the
me.
sequel.
so dumb,
I was like, why do you have
so.
a mullet? What's going on here?
Oh, not even that. Then he acted like he knew. I'm like,
Well, clearly, yeah.
I'm like,
That's
so why is this movie getting dumber as it goes along? Like, just and the whole ice skating and the dancing scene. This happens in every movie. How is it they bring in 100 people with guns in a circle shooting, but yet you two in the middle will just take them all out no matter what, just no matter what. And matter of fact, there's one scene where there was that scene where they all got like around surrounded them and started shooting. I'm like, clearly they're shooting each other. That's just what's happening. Like you can just duck on the ground in the smoke and let them just shoot each other.
it's the
Stand up and
Yeah,
go,
no kidding, right?
stormtrooper
Like, yeah, I was about to
phenomena.
say the same thing. But the thing is, within the smoke, were they somewhat hallucinating that they were dancing well? Because when Sam jumped on her shoulders and started spinning him around, Bryan Cranston's character said, "Turn on the cameras or turn on the vents and vent it out." While she's still spinning him on the shoulders, while he's watching, he's on the ground. His feet are on the ground and they're spinning. They're not spinning like the dancing thing. They're just turning.
I don't
You
know. It
didn't
doesn't
notice that?
matter at this
Maybe it was a
point.
Mm-mm.
bad edit, but I
I
was like, oh,
just,
they really not
uh,
dancing as good as they think they are because they're so intertwined with each other.
I mean,
But
just everything from the 30 guys in the hallway that Sam Rockwell just happens to kill all of them with one gun.
I know he's super
And
good, man.
and
Sam
it's
Rockwell.
just I don't know, man.
Yeah, I will buy that because it's Sam Rockwell.
Anyway, I'll give it a 2. Like just
When he jumps
I
out
don't
of the
even know.
floor,
Which part?
when he jumped out of the floor in that apartment, they're hiding in the
Oh
floorboards.
yeah.
And he jumps straight up. Like, man, this guy's got some verticals, man. Impressive.
No, no, it was I thought John Cena was good in it. But
Well, he's barely in it.
when they killed Dua Lipa, I was very like, no, this movie sucks already.
He killed her? I thought he just
She kills herself. She kills herself.
That's right. She killed herself.
Yeah. Because she can't give up information, so she takes a cyanide pill.
And that was dumb too. That was apparently did happen, but it was with her
And Sam Rockwell. He was a John Cena character.
Yeah.
But you're right about one thing. Bryce Dallas Howard is a chunky monkey in the movie. So I cannot take her serious at all as some type of action person.
No, exactly. I'm like, how did you go from running away from a T-Rex in high heels to this? What happened?
And in that movie, she wasn't overweight. She was just thick in Jurassic Park. In this movie, she was on a cake diet. I don't know what it was. Something little much, but that's
Doesn't
just
matter. Nepotism is strong in Hollywood. She's gonna get that job anyway.
Well, I wouldn't say her at this point. It's not nepotism with her though, because not like her dad's casting her. She's just, I mean, she's a good actress. I mean, it's just this movie sucked, completely sucked. But they made no money anyway. It bombed, so who cares? We're not gonna get more of this shit.
Yeah, I don't think there's gonna be the coming soon. They should have just edited that out because it's not coming.
No.
Book one of Argylle is not coming.
No. And now, don't get me wrong. Maybe he has a deal with Apple, and there will be a sequel for Apple. Maybe that's what it is. So